The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in a thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. We have action star John Ozuna coming on. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And then we have Steve Bacic coming on again, one of my favorite celebrities on the planet. And he's been on the show many times, and I'm super excited to have him back again. So it's going to be a lot of fun. What's up, chat room? Before we get started, let me introduce my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell. Much better than it was.
No, I can't breathe still. The desert sand. Every week I complain, folks, because I have to let you know that when I sniff, I'm not a cokehead sniffing up coke, and I just can't breathe. It's freezing here in Palm Springs now. Winter has come.
It's not freezing. It's like 70. It's beautiful.
It's cold.
I love it. So what's up, chat room? Cindy Lady Lake's in there. Stefan Daniel Bell is in there. More people will be coming. We're going to have a good show. But first, we're going to play Show and Tell, you guys.
Show and Tell.
So a couple of weeks ago, we had the incredible director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Jason Goes to Hell. And this is one of his new films. He sent us the Blu-ray for it. It's called Secret Santa. It won a bunch of awards. It's an indie film, not a really big one, but he said this is the film he's the most proud of. We haven't watched it yet because it just came in the mail, but I want to thank him. His name is Adam Marcus. You guys listen to the show. It was a great show. He even sent the little postcard that goes with it. Looks like a lot of fun, and I always love getting cool things.
But what he really sent was when I asked him, I said, could you send me a little bit of your artwork? Because I truly love it.
No, this is a different guest.
Oh, that's another guy?
It's two different people. One's a movie director.
Well, where's the art?
The comic book guy.
Yeah, I want to show that.
I've got it. That's the next one we're going to do. Do you remember his name?
No.
So you guys...
Jimmy, sometimes I don't remember your name.
Comic book artist Tom Rash, you guys, sent us a goodie basket. Oh. It's so awesome. He sent...
That's mine.
Wait, no, one's mine and one's yours.
Signed it for
he signed one for me, too.
Look, I love it. I'm going to frame it and put it in my office where my office is.
So this is Tom Rash's artwork, and the name of the comic book is Black Alpha. And here's mine.
Mine is better.
And then...
He wrote nicer on mine than he wrote on yours. You know?
And then he also...
He really wrote a better sentiment to me.
He also sent us some books that he autographed for us. One is called The Art of Tom Rash. One is...
And don't bend my...
Black Alpha. Hang on. One of them is Black Alpha. It's called Act 1 Ascension. And then he sent... another Black One Ascension for me for my collection, and The Art of Tom Rash for me. So you guys definitely check out his stuff, get his books. He's super great. We had a very good time with him on the show. We want to thank him.
Such a talent.
For everybody. What a talented guy.
I love it. I have to move his stand a little bit. I love his artwork.
So we're going to be putting all that stuff.
I just love his artwork.
We're going to be putting all that stuff in the office and watching the movie soon.
It's really cold here. He's full of crap. The outside is warm, and the house is very cold. These houses are not. These houses are made out of stucco. They're stone houses, cinder, whatever, and they hold the cold in and the heat as well.
So we want to welcome the chat room. Dawn Hinton just joined us. Hey, Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
Show him your watch. Show her your watch. She always likes watches.
I'm matching blue and yellow because my shirt has blue and yellow in it. It's a 40 watch because I have a whole bunch of them.
You got to love it. Also, we want to thank everybody for listening to us on iTunes. It's super important. We're number 46 on iTunes this week, so that's our highest that we've been yet. So thank you. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping. Thank you very much. We also want to thank the people at Paramount for inviting us to an awesome cocktail hors d'oeuvre party for their new show, something Traveler. I forgot. Fellow Travelers. So we were in LA, and then we want to thank Marcel for having a wonderful Marcel Walsh for having a wonderful Halloween party that was the day before that we showed up to it because I had the wrong watch on.
No. Do not skirt the issue and make it we. All right? Jimmy is a control freak. Jimmy controls my life. Get up, go to bed, do this, do that. Eat, don't eat, drink. That's what he does all day long, He's crazy. Tells me what to do, but I ignore him. Now, he knows to keep the appointments. So every appointment we have, he controls and keeps. We get to Marcel's, and of course the party was the day before. And I'm a vampire looking terrific.
He did look terrific.
And, so excited to show my friends how good I look as a vampire. And, of course, the party was the night before. Then he has the audacity to turn to me and in a very evil voice say, well, you could have kept track of the date, too.
Well, we both got invited separately.
Excuse me, pass the buck. I'm never wrong.
But my watch really was wrong. I fixed it now, but my watch said it was the 27th.
So, of course, I was nice. I didn't torture him or make him feel bad because he felt bad enough. I know. If I was a mean person, I would have yelled at him and carried on and said...
We did drive 4 hours for no reason.
Yeah. And I never said anything that I was with fangs hanging out of my face.
Blood all over his face.
For 4 hours.
He had blood dripping down his mouth. He looked terrific, though. But anyway, we missed the party, and it was 100% my fault. 100% my fault.
Finally, he's admitted to being at fault for something.
So it was really stinky. But anyway,
little goody.
Not this week, but next week on Wednesday, right after the show, we're actually going to see Marcel Walsh's new movie. It's the movie premiere for his new movie, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I
heard it's worse than the other one as far as chopping blood, guts, and eyeballs flying all over. I don't know if I could sit through it.
Oh, I can't wait for it.
I know you can't wait because you're a ghoul.
And then also, you guys, so I'm involved with a really cool Indiegogo campaign, you guys. It's called Zombie with a Shotgun Reloaded. It's the sequel to Zombie with a Shotgun. We were supposed to do this movie, and then COVID came, and it all messed up. It's a going to be a very good movie. The Indiegogo campaign is for comic books and perks and stuff. No acting roles. All the actors in it are professional actors. Some of the cast, we can't name the two biggest stars, but we do have Camden Toy, Vincent Ward from The Walking Dead. We have Monique Gata Dupree. We have, I forgot who else is in it. It's by Hilton Ariel Ruiz. He's coming on next year. And Ron is going to have a role in it also, you guys. And it's going to be a really cool zombie film. And we're just trying to raise some money to get it going because it's going to cost way more than we can raise on Indiegogo. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Lynn Lowry, I forgot. I
have no idea. First of all, I don't know anything about this movie that I'm in, that suddenly I'm in. I read scripts. If I don't like the script, I'm not going to be in the movie.
You're going to want to be in this one because it's going to be a big one. Yeah, it's a really good one. The first movie was extremely successceral.
Who's the Whisper My Ear?
It's called Zombie with a Shotgun.
Who's the big star?
Oh, I can't tell you. I'm not allowed.
Tell me. I can't
tell you. No, I can't tell you in your ear because they won't be in it. If we can't use them for the Indiegogo campaign, they're too big for it.
No, I know that, but just whisper in my friggin' ear, so I know.
No, you don't know who they are anyway.
I don't know who they are. They're so big that I don't know who they are. I mean, really.
No, you don't know who they are because you don't know horror people. But in the horror world, they're as big as it gets.
Okay, so we'll see what happens.
I forgot.
Am I playing another doctor? Am I playing another FBI agent? I'm so sick of those roles.
I'm not sure which one you're going to be playing yet, but
I wouldn't mind playing a zombie. That could be fun. If they ate me, have your flesh hanging and stuff. I like that crazy stuff.
That's so funny. I
always play the boring characters in these movies.
No, you're not going to play a boring character. You'll be fun, and you have people in it because you're friends with Monique. You're friends with a lot of people. They've all been on the show. Camden Toy's been on the show. Vincent Ward, you were in another movie with.
Yeah, I know, but that's not on the screen. That's in private on the set. But what about on the screen?
Hang on, here it is. I'm going to tell you who else is in it.
I don't want to. My career is not exactly that strong. but I can afford a couple of dents.
No, this isn't going to be a dent. Lynn Lowry's in it. Monique Dupree, Vincent Ward, Camden Toy, Bill Oberst Jr., who's been on our show at least 2 or 3 times. And then Braden Bade is on it, and he was the star of the first one, so he has to be in the second one.
What's this thing called?
Zombie with a Shotgun.
A zombie with a shotgun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, and we're actually having the creator of it come on the show next week, you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is it about a zombie that goes around shooting people and making
It's a guy who's half zombie and half... You guys can Google it, actually, because you can watch it. I think the first one's on Tubi or YouTube or something. But it's very cool, and it's the best artwork I've ever seen. It's based on a comic book. The comic books are already out. It's not like somebody's making a comic book and then making a movie.
Am I in the comic
books?
book?
No, you're not in the comic book. Nobody's in the comic book. Maybe in the next one, because the comic books were already done. So it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. It's got a big budget, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And Bill Oberst, you guys, is a lot of fun, and he's been on the show. So it's going to be a good one. And next week you'll learn more about it because we're going to have the guy come on it. But the Indiegogo campaign started. So if you want to go to Indiegogo and just stick in Zombie with a Shotgun Reloaded, you can see all the perks and join us with it. Then
wait a minute. All these movies that we have lined up, how are we going to shoot them all? I mean, now that you got like 15 movies rolling.
Not 15. But there's a lot.
Jimmy, we have a ton of movies.
Yeah, but they're going to have to get scattered out.
We're going to have to work back to back. I'm going to have to work 2 movies a day, 2 different movies.
Yes. Dawn Hinton said she loved the first movie, Zombie with a Shotgun. Cool. This one's going to even be better.
And you'll love this one.
You'll love this one because Ron's in it, and you're going to know everybody because they've all been on our show. Everybody's been on our show, and the artwork is phenomenal. Also, I want to thank everybody for following me. My Instagram, my Twitter, and my TikTok are all This Is Jimmy Star. Keep following me. I got a bunch of new followers this week, and a bunch of new everything. My TikTok's blowing up, so we want to thank everybody for all of that. And then the last thing we're going to do before we bring on our first guest is to tell everybody all the places that you can listen to us. Number 1, we want you to listen to us on Apple Podcasts so we can keep going up in the rankings. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
Nice if you would do that for us. I would appreciate that a lot.
You can also hear us on SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Prime. But we really want everybody to listen to us on Apple Podcasts because that's what we're trying to push right now, and that might help bring some more opportunities for us in the show. So if you listen there, because that's a chart that's provable that everybody can see, so we're super happy to be back on it. We dropped down to number 90 for a while, but now we're back up to 46. So please, everybody.
What's that? I can't get over these numbers. Which way do they go?
The lower the number, the higher, the better it is. You want to be number 1. We're number 46.
And then we were 90?
We were 90.
What happened?
We dropped from 53 to 80 to 90, and then we went back up again. Yeah, the chart changes almost every day.
You know, we're trying to figure out these shows that we do. Are the dirty ones really the ones that get the best rating?
And they don't. Not lately.
They don't lately. So now we're keeping them clean and sophisticated.
A little cleaner and a little bit more sophisticated.
I mean, with me, it's a little difficult. I was a stand-up comic, in nightclubs. And we were risque back in those days, never vulgar or filthy, but extremely risque. And I'm still risque.
And risque is okay. I think risque is okay.
But I don't think people understand risque anymore. They only understand outright filth.
But you got to remember that our audience is more like 40 to 70, and they get it. Like if we had 20-year-olds, obviously they don't get it because we had those young girls come on and they didn't get anything.
Because they only know really bad. If you go to the stand-up places today, these comics are vulgar. And they're not funny. They depend on the curse word to embarrass you, to make you laugh, to make it funny. Years ago, we didn't curse or do anything vulgar or sexually explicit. It was double entendre, and people loved it. So I wish that would come back again because the best comedy is double entendre. You could take it either way.
So let's bring on our first guest.
Okay.
Go ahead and bring him in. Let's make sure we can hear him. Hello, John. How you doing?
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Fantastic. All right. So I wanted to make sure we could hear you. Now that I know we can hear you, let's make a great introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to first of all, wait. How do I pronounce your last name? Ozuna?
Oh, Jesus.
You know what? You can say Ozuna. It's a Spanish last name, so properly it's Osuna.
Ozuna.
Yeah, and back from Spain, they'll even put a lisp on it. They'll go Ozuna if they speak Castellano. And but you can call me Ozuna. Just call me John.
Hey, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, action hero, actor, stuntman, badass dude, John Ozuna.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You know,
That was
Ron, you met
perfect.
him at Halloween Hotness, but this is my co-host, Ron Russell.
Hi, how are you again? Let me just.
I'm doing good, Ron. It's great to see you guys. I loved your intro. You guys had a fantastic intro, and you know what? Just you tapped into something that was really interesting about comics. I think, in my opinion, comics are probably the most intelligent people in the world because the way they view life, their perspective on things, and the way they can tell a story. But to your point, the modern day comics have strayed away from the intelligence of it, and they have just been vulgar, and they're doing it for the shock value of it. And some people get it, some people don't. But I appreciate what you were saying at the beginning of the show. That was fantastic.
Well, I did stand up for 46 years.
Oh my goodness! Whoa! Congratulations! That's amazing.
I started at 20 years old, and now I'm 83, and I'm still doing it.
Excuse me, sir, Ron. What?
I'm 83 years old now, so I've been doing stand up for 64 years, and it's changed tremendously. I worked with the great comics they're all dead now, of course. Joan Rivers, who I knew, was a funny lady. Mm-hmm. Joan Rivers was far more funnier in person than she was on the stage. Mm-hmm. I once said to her, Joan, how come you don't do this on the stage? And she said, Ron, they wouldn't get it. They just won't get it. Yeah. I have to simplify it. I said, yeah, but years ago we did it. She said, years ago we had an intelligent audience out there. She said, we had college people educated. We had people with class style. They were brought up properly. She said, but you see what's in our audiences now. They come looking like rag pickers. They're loud. They're boisterous. You're on stage doing comedy and they're talking about baseball. There's no such thing anymore as a respectful audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's difficult to do live because people today don't have the attention span.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Sit there and listen to you do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you have to curse at them because that's how you get their attention. And it's sad. But the great comics, Milton Berle, who I knew, the people don't know who these names are, but Milton would never make it today. And the one that would certainly not make it is Don Rickles.
Yeah, yeah.
Don Rickles talked about everybody, and he used all the slang words that woke people won't allow us to use anymore. Changed a lot, and I miss it because I'm still good. I could still do comedy, but I don't have the audience.
You know, it's funny you say that, and I have to say that the bravest people in the industry are stand-up comics. People that do this live. People that take the chance, they don't know if they're going to be a hit or they're going to be a miss. You know, it's a mixed bag sometimes, and you're taking the chance. You know, and I can't think of a braver person that pursues our artistry and our artwork than a comic, than a stand-up comic, where you're live and in person and interact.
I never worried about a show because I knew my audiences. If I was working the Jewish Alps, which is upstate New York, you know. Wonderful places that Gershwin. We worked at some wonderful clubs up there. Now, when you have an all Jewish audience, you know what to do. You know the kind of humor you're going to do.
Yeah.
I played Town and Country in Brooklyn, and I all Italians, and I'm Italian, so I knew where to go there. And if I thought my show wasn't going right, I would change it because I was very good with not scripting. I'm better off script than I am on. When I'm spontaneous and it's electric. But when you read it, it's boring. So a stand-up comic knows how to hit the button when he needs to, and he knows exactly how to manipulate his audience into hearing what they want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to mention though too. There's one stand-up comic. So we went to this red carpet premiere of this movie called The Elevator. Not really a great movie. Okay movie, but it starred this kid. It had Eric Roberts and Eugenia Kuzmina, and it had this kid Matt Rife. And
Eugene is a friend of ours, and that's why we went.
And so anyway, Matt Rife. I don't know if you've ever heard of Matt Rife, but Matt Rife is like a 25-year-old funniest comedian ever, and he doesn't worry about any of the things going on in the world. So he's not afraid, and he sells out everywhere. He goes someplace and he sells out a 1,000-seat room in like 5 minutes. Everybody wants to see him. So everybody should check out Matt Rife. He's hilarious. Also, we have a lot of people joining us in the chat room now, so I need you to say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, guys. How we doing? Thank you for joining us. It's great to see you.
They love your Halloween picture with your cat, I guess, on Instagram. They're saying all kinds of stuff.
I just want to say something about 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to have an audience of 350 people. That was my biggest audience, but it was a supper show. People were having dinner. And I did 2 shows. One show was dinner, one was drink. 11 o'clock was the drink show. And we were so grateful because the audience loved us. And we worked even harder.
Yeah.
Today, I work a lot in film and stuff and on this show, but I don't get any kind of accolades. I don't get any kind of, Ron, we enjoyed it, or Ron, you're good, or people are not generous anymore. They're jealous of us. They want to be us, and they're angry that they're not.
The road that we have to climb, people don't realize how difficult this is. Just even myself personally, I have been told so many times to just quit. You know what? You're not going to get anywhere in business. Nobody wants to see that. Yeah, and we receive that criticism all the time.
Knock them on their ass. They ever say that to
Actually, he can knock them on their ass.
And you know what? So can I. And so can I. I'm not.
Yeah.
So first of all, you guys, I want to tell you. So we have a 6 degree of separation with John. So 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had Max Searchy on our show, and we talked about one of his films that you're the star of, actually, in the film. Then this guy who helps makes graphics, he's the nicest guy. His name's Michael VJ. He's super nice guy. He lives in like Brazil or someplace. And he sent me a message and he said, hey, I have this guy I know. His name's John Ozuna, and he was in Max Searchy's film, and you should have him on your show. Then, that was on Friday. The next day, we were at Halloween Hotness, and Diane Repetto walks up to me and said, I want you to meet this guy, John Ozuna. He would be good for your show. And then he introduced me to you, and I was like, holy shit, in 2 days, 3 people are telling me I need to meet you. And now you're here, so we're very happy to have you.
I paid him a lot of money to say all those things.
So I want to talk a little bit about what you do, because you're not like a normal actor, because you're an action star, which is totally different. And
it's not.
No, he's like Jason Statham. He beats people up and shit.
Yeah, but that's no. I have to defend that statement. When you entertain people, you are an actor, and I don't care what it is you do. I consider him an actor.
No, he is an actor, but he's a different kind of actor because
his script is different. But if he's an actor, if I want him to be a priest tomorrow in a film, he'll be a priest.
That's true.
So we're not limiting him to
which I was because I did one movie.
Yeah, I mean, you're not to get limited.
Demon Fighter, which I played a priest and I was the lead in the movie. So absolutely.
Yeah, so we had to correct that because an actor does everything.
Okay, but there's a difference because not every actor.
He's good at this, or he's famous at beating people. Jason Statham.
That's his favorite.
Yeah, guys in 2 minutes. And I sit there saying, how they get away with this, I'll never know. But I like Jason. I think he's good.
But you are a real fighter. I mean, for real. Like, you're Tell us what you are, because you're like some kind of huge karate expert or something.
Yeah, so my background, I've been doing martial arts for all my life. So I've been in martial arts for the last 42 plus years, going on 43 years. And, back in that day, my inspiration was Bruce Lee. I mean, he changed the world. I mean, he made the world.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he made the world colorblind. So it didn't matter the fact that he was of Chinese ancestry. He was born in San Francisco, but he was of Chinese ancestry. It didn't matter. We all wanted to be him. But an interesting note on him, he was an actor before he was a martial artist.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so his father was in the entertainment industry, so he used his son on more than a dozen films before he ever took martial arts and before he ever displayed his ability. For me, what I had to do, I am a master level black belt in Chinese martial arts. I've competed all over the world in full contact fighting. So I've had the great privilege of competing all over the United States, Europe, Asia, to test my abilities, to see where I stand among the best in the world. And I fared well. I did well during those times. But when I entered into the film industry, which, there was one tournament one time where there was a TV producer that was running a series, and he saw what I was doing. And he goes, "Hey, can you do that in front of a camera?" I said, "Absolutely." So that was the foot in the door. That was that foot in the door. But what I had to make sure is that my acting was in balance with my martial arts ability. So,
Right.
I'm a student of the Stanislavski method acting.
I have a black belt also.
You do? Oh my
Yes,
goodness!
it has a G on the buckle for Gucci.
I knew you were steering in that direction.
I look like I could be a black belt. 83.
So I have two, because I have two movies that I watch all the time. I probably watch them once a year.
Yeah.
Favorite movies. My favorite martial arts movie is Best of the Best. I don't know if you've ever seen
Yes.
Best of the Best.
Yeah,
That's like
absolutely.
greatest movies ever. I love it, and I also love Bloodsport.
Yeah.
But I'm also like a huge fan of Cobra Kai because we know a lot of the people in it. That's not real necessarily.
Right. Sean Kanan is probably one of our closest, dearest friends in the world.
Oh, he's a great guy. Love him.
We know Sean for years and years. We just had lunch with him the other day.
You did. All right.
And I said to him, I've never seen Cobra Kai.
I've watched it twice. I've seen all of it
And I said to him,
twice.
because I don't like those movies, Sean, but I'm sure you're wonderful at it.
Sean's a great guy. He is. He and I worked together. We did it was a pilot for a reality show called Me Versus You, and I was a contestant. So it was a kind of a culinary / martial arts obstacle sort of strange concept, but Sean was there. And since then, we've become pretty good friends. And whenever I'm at an event, he's at the same event. He has his table, I've got my table, and we connect together. He's a great guy, very talented too.
And he's a real person. He's not Hollywood fake. And his wife, Michelle, I'm crazy about Missy. Missy is the best. She's a brilliant woman.
So also then, because growing up for me, like the big ones, Jean-Claude Van Damme was big and Steven Seagal was big. I should say growing up, I was like in college, like old in high school and college. Those were the we watched everything from. I think those movies are a lot of fun to watch. I think they would be very difficult, because I wouldn't be able to do it. And now, like he said, Jason Statham is his favorite. Like he loves Jason Statham.
Because it's fun. He is a funny guy. When you watch him on the screen, he takes it so seriously.
Yeah.
He does it like he's a dramatic actor, and all he's doing is beating people up and throwing them. And I get such an amusement out of that. You have no idea.
Yeah, it's with like Best of the Best, Jamie, pardon me. You mentioned Best of the Best, and Eric Roberts. It's just coincidental. Eric Roberts and I shared the same manager, so we both have the same manager.
Oh, that's okay.
And I
had him on the show. We know him pretty well too.
Eric's a nice guy. Also.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's got a wealth of experience. We had a great conversation. I just want to mention this. We had a great conversation because he looked up at me. He kind of goes, John, you know what? If I had a dream role I want to play, I wanted to play Nurev. I said, the ballet dancer? He goes, yeah. He goes, I loved that guy. The way he moved, the way he presented himself. He goes, I can't do what he does physically, but I've embodied his struggle, his challenge, and how amazing he was above all the people that we know that are great ballet dancers. So he shared that with me. He was so passionate about it. And it was, for him, it was like, so, yeah, so
he said that would be his dream role, to play a ballet dancer.
Who, Eric?
Yes.
yeah.
Wait, because all these people, like I know.
Oh, I gotta tell her when I say.
I know Sean Kanan is actually,
wait a minute, stop! This is too wonderful. Eric,
yeah, but you've never seen Eric Roberts.
Wait, who we know? The little mobster, the little tough guy.
Yeah,
he wants to be a ballerina.
If you would have seen him in Best of the Best, it's one of the greatest movies ever.
I gotta see him in a tutu.
Oh, not to be like that.
So, I don't know if we'll see that soon.
You know what? I'm gonna use your name too.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please do.
When you say John told us.
So I have a question though. Aren't all those?
He really wanted to be a ballet.
He wanted to play Nurev, who's like the most famous ballet.
You have to be like 6 foot. Eric is 2 feet tall.
No, he's not 2 feet tall.
Eric is little. He could never.
Now, how tall is Eric? He's like 5'10" or 5'11".
Yeah. Eric's about 5'10", so he's not.
5'10" is little.
Yeah,
you know, I come from the 6 foot people.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, no, Ron, you're tall. You're very tall.
So wait, I have a question. All these people we're talking about who do pretty much all the action stars who do the karate stuff, they really all know how to do it, though, right? They're not playing it.
I mean, Eric had to be shown what to do, but everybody else, when you're talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme and all the other ones, just going down the list, they have the background. So they do have martial arts background, and we become kind of an important commodity to the industry, because with us, we're 3 people in one. We're the actors, because we can go and deliver the lines, and we do it with the intention, the emotion that's needed for that scene. 2, we can do the fight choreography, so we can say, okay, you throw that punch, and I'll do this, and you do that, and you move this way, and I'll do this to you.
Fight.
And then we could actually do the movement. So we can actually, okay, I can take a punch, you move, I'll do this to you, I react this way. So we're 3 people in one. So instead of a production company having to pay for 3 individual people, it's all one person. So
you get paid that way, then? Do you get paid for doing all 3 jobs?
So SAG does recognize that when I have a credit, an acting credit as well as a fight choreography, they will join those wages together. Stunt, then they throw the stunt in. They just say, well, if you do your stunts, you do your stunts. So for whatever reason, stunt people just don't have the same level of respect in the industry that everybody else does.
Well, we like to drop names on this show because our audiences love when we do. Reynolds was a dear friend of mine for many years. And Bert once said to me, a group of us at a cocktail table, he said he had about 200 and something injuries in his body.
Yeah.
And I said, would you ever have one in your penis? And I could talk to Bert that way. And he said, yes. And he named one of the movie stars. He said, she spun around and cracked it.
You see, wait a minute. That's risque. That's what we're talking about.
That's risque.
Burt Reynolds. Burt. In person, Burt was only double entendre. Everything Burt said came out. Now, he should have been a comedian. He was the funniest fella in the world. Many times we sat there spitting out our drinks because he'd come out with crap that you never believe. I mean, he would say things on the spur of the moment where it came from, I don't know. But there was another side to Bert also. He's a manic depressive. He suffered from depression terribly. And I find that most comedians have had a bad life. They came from not a good background, and that's why they're funny. And Bert, he had a good background, but he had a lot of problems, and he really suffered a lot.
And he was nice as could be.
Oh, he was as nice as could be.
His brother was a football coach.
He never took.
Yeah. And I grew up watching Burt Reynolds. I mean, just all the movies he did. From The Longest Yard all the way to the Cannonball Run movies, and everything that his work with Dom DeLuise. Just when
Dom DeLuise was not nice.
Yeah, Dom DeLuise.
I hated Dom DeLuise.
I heard that. He
was a nasty homosexual that was covering it up, and he was very nasty.
I heard about
an argument with him with Renee Taylor and Joe Bologna at my table, and it was an event, and he said a terrible thing to me. He said to me, my friend Diane wanted his autograph, and she was my guest. So I said, good, we'll go over to him. We went over to Dom DeLuise, and I said, Dom, excuse me, but my friend Diane, he turned on me. He said, leave me alone. And he picked up a citronella candle, and he said, I'm going to shove this right up your ass.
Wow.
And he said it to the wrong guy because I'm from Brooklyn. I turned around very loud. I said, listen up, Mary. If anybody loves it up the ass, it's you. So I suggest you shove it up your own ass. And I walked back to my table. I thought Renee was going to faint. And Joe Bologna just looked at me. He said, what the hell was that all about? I said, put the citronella candle up my ass. You know what Joe said? Lit or unlit? He said, what, lit or unlit? So, no, he was not, he did a lot of coke. My ex-brother-in-law, Michael Papa, who was Vincent Papa, the mafia's nephew, he supplied all of Hollywood their drugs.
Wow.
And Dom DeLuise was an enormous coke freak. Mm-hmm. And Michael Papa used to sell him the coke. Well, Michael Papa had been in jail, so he lifted a lot of weights, had a great body, and he was a handsome Italian guy. Dom DeLuise never stopped hitting on him, constantly hitting on him. So I'm glad to dish him because he was a worthless piece of crap, an arrogant Italian jerk, and I'm Italian.
So hold on. Let's go back to you. First of all, I want to tell everybody you guys can follow John on Instagram. He's at John_Ozuna.
Perfect. Either way is right.
The Z is
like an S, like a yes.
Listen, you know what happened? Rome and Italy was first. Mm-hmm. Spanish people didn't speak yet. They were just walking around making wine and eating delicious food. Well, an Italian went to Spain and he said to one of the Spanish people, would you like to learn to talk? And the guy happened to be a gay Spaniard. So the Spanish guy said, yes, I would like to learn to speak. So that's how come Spanish came about. When you speak Spanish, it's Italian with a gay lisp. That was one of my jokes, by the way, from years ago.
I've never ever heard of that before. That's fantastic. I love it.
You have to see my show.
So wait, I want to go back to him though. So recently we had Cynthia Rothrock on the show, and then we went to an Oscar party back in March or whenever the Oscar parties were, and we met John the Dragon Wilson. Have you done stuff with? I'm sure you know who they are, right? Because they're like,
it's funny. I know exactly who they are. Both Cynthia Rothrock. In fact, we all have mutual friends because there's this very strong group and circle where very proficient martial artists have moved on into the movie industry. Cynthia Rothrock has had great success. Don Wilson has had amazing success, and they're the real deal. I mean, they've done
know how to do it.
Yeah, they do their stuff. Along with my goodness, Gerald Okamura. Who was actually in one of my films. Gerald Okamura was in like the original Kung Fu series back in the day, and has done many films that we're all familiar with. That that he was in, but it's funny. It's they have a very tight circle. and I have been approached to work with them on films, but it just stopped short of that. Because I'm almost like in my side, and
there yet.
they're kind of on their side, and I would love to work with anybody. For me, I have no, it doesn't matter the reputation or the background. To me, it doesn't matter. To me, work is work. And it's, if I can contribute to a project and give them my best, my absolute best that I can, that's what I want to do, because I take a great deal of pride in what I can provide in any sort of project.
Right.
And I always want to do well, and I'm certainly, for me, I kind of live out of my van. So I invest.
Are you in your van now?
Well, yeah.
But listen, you want to know how to get a lot of work? You want to know what you have to do?
I want to know.
Okay. Dress and drag.
Yeah, done. Done.
Because transsexuals are so in right now, and drag queens are the biggest thing going.
Yeah.
So throw on a pair of fake tits, some lipstick, you'll probably be an ugly woman, but that's okay.
I was going to say, I would use to be an
very
ugly woman. My goodness.
But there are men out there that like ugly women. What can I tell you? No,
So you're saying I won't be alone?
but you must not make fun of anyone in drag as a comic.
Yeah.
Because when I worked as a stand-up comic, I worked in drag.
Wow, nice.
All those years I worked in drag. Yeah.
Nice. That's a good picture.
Jane
He
Russell.
impersonated Jane Russell,
Who was my
the
best
movie
friend.
star, who was also his best friend. I don't know
Really?
who Jane Russell is. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody.
Okay, so Jane Russell, wasn't she with Marilyn Monroe in Some Like It Hot?
yes,
No.
Gentlemen prefer blondes.
Right.
Okay, that's the one. Okay, yes. So yeah, Jane Russell's done so many things. So she's famous for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
best friends.
Best friends for years.
Wow.
To death. But I worked in drag because it got me work. If I was as myself, I wasn't funny because I was very dark. I was darker than you, and I had black hair. If you ever saw a picture of me, you would think that I was definitely Moorish or Egyptian.
Oh, wow.
Really, I've changed with age, but they wouldn't hire me because it was ethnic. And in those days,
Exactly.
Tab Hunter and Troy Donahue, they wanted blonde, blue-eyed American boys. They didn't want anybody that looked swarthy or whatever. So a friend of mine said, let's go to this masquerade ball. He said, let's do it in drag. Would be fun, as a laugh. Well, I did it, and everybody said, oh, my God, you look like Jane Russell. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wow.
That's how it came. But working in drag was what made me famous. And I was very famous on the Eastern Seaboard.
That's fantastic.
Years and years, yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about. So first of all, you guys, here's some of the films that you might have seen John in. We're actually going to play the trailer for one of them in a minute. But he's got a whole bunch of different things. First of all, I never watched 13 Reasons Why, but everybody said it was a really good show. And you did a couple episodes of 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah.
I wrote down sci-fi action thriller, The Infinity Project, Enter the Fire with Lou Ferrigno, Blood Relative, The Dragon Unleashed with John Schneider, who's been on the show a bunch of times, and Eva Hamilton. The Insurrection with Michael Pare, which Ron used to know Michael Pare pretty well.
I know what's his name also.
Cry Havoc with Richard Tyson, Demon Fighter. I know you just finished a movie that's not out yet. Max Searcy's film Andromeda Wars with Chuck Liddell, Matthias Hughes. Robert Donovan's been on the show a bunch of times, Rhino Michaels and Nicholas Turturro. And then you did a movie for Max called The Bouncer with you, Nicholas Turturro, and Kostas Mandalore. What a great cast. And I guess this is a big leading role for you.
That was a fantastic one. That one, it was the first time that I had filmed out of the United States. I've filmed all over the United States, but we filmed that one in Romania. And, it was roughly 20 plus days of filming. So, Max, great guy. Max, fantastic. What's great about Max is that he keeps things light on set, because I've worked with so many different directors. everybody has their style, everybody has their way, but I've worked on the polar opposite of that, where, if you're not following that director's exact rules by the letter, you're chastised in front of everybody, you're humiliated, and you're run off set, and for Max.
By me again, I'm not there. I didn't hear you well.
He said that
if you don't follow the director, people make fun of you and you run off the set.
Yeah, I mean, the director would do that.
What else have you been on?
He's been on a lot.
The movies I'm in, I tell the director what I like and don't like, and I tell them also, if you're not happy with me, I'd be happy to leave your picture.
Wow, nice.
I did walk off a picture.
Nice.
I was rudely treated, and ageist remarks were made, and wisecracks were made, and I said, this is not the set for me, and I left. But I have never, ever, ever seen anybody. No, directors are there to direct you if they're correct. If they're incorrect, to be corrected. And if a director can't take some criticism, corrective criticism, then he's not a director, and he's not for the picture. He's not working for the best interest of the picture.
Exactly.
I have a New York accent, a Brooklyn accent. When I play a mafia guy, nobody does it better than me. I know the lingo. I know the street talk. I was in a movie where the line, and I don't remember it, was something like, I'm going to shoot you, gosh, heck, gee whiz. Now, did you ever hear of a mafia Brooklyn guy say that? Well,
Never.
And I said to the director, listen, when I read the script, I can't do this. And I waited to come home to shoot. I would like to do it this way, and I did it the Brooklyn way.
Mm-hmm.
He was very upset.
Really?
Very upset because I did it for everybody to hear. I should have gotten him on the side privately. I said, what are we over here, the Lonely Hearts, or are we actors?
Yeah.
Get real, baby. Get real.
Yeah.
But I'm not in favor of directors. I find most directors are nobody. How they got the position of director is because they put money in the film or some other stupid reason.
Yeah.
And I'm in total agreement with my pal, Betty Davis, because Betty and I spoke many times about directors. She hated them more than I do.
I mean, it's a hit and miss. And the movie The Bouncer takes place in Romania. It's actually my fourth leading role for a film. And when I was approaching this, just obviously you just jump on these opportunities. But holy hell, it was so cold over there. Oh my goodness! And a lot of the scenes were outdoors. So we had to fake the fact that it wasn't cold. And when there's a fight scene, you're almost thankful because at least you get a chance to move around, and your body moves and punches, and you're doing this, and you could do a take after a take, and the body warms up a little bit. But if you're doing a dialogue scene, you're dying out there. But it's all well worth it. It's all one of those things where you just add, it's that next little feather in the cap. Every experience that you have in acting lends to the next project. So that way you're just that much more experienced, and you can offer that much more for that next project. And to work with Costas Mandylor. I mean, Costas Mandylor,
he's terrific. What a nice fella.
He's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor. So you learn. You're on set, and even though we're both actors, there's never a time that I'm on set that I don't have my notebook out and I'm taking notes on how very experienced actors, how they prepare for a scene, how they take direction, how they try different deliveries, and Nicholas Torturo, same thing. It was great working with him.
Big actor.
Yeah,
he's been in everything. He's been around forever.
Europeans are trained differently than the American actors.
Yeah,
a European actor, as such as Sofia Loren Magnani, Italian, or Melina Mercouro, Greek, and of course, what's his name?
Costas.
Coca is Greek. There's something about Europeans that is so appealing. an honesty, a truth. When they act, it's true. American actors sometimes are worried about their hair, the lighting. It's a little bit too. Whereas Sophia Loren, I mean, if you see her newest film, she didn't give a shit. No makeup, nothing. She looked 150. That beautiful woman did not look beautiful anymore, and Sophia could care less about it.
So
that shows in acting.
With you, though, because first of all, Max, so we met him that night at Halloween Hondas. He was on our show, but we had never met him. You're a little bit different. We met you first, and now you're on the show.
Yeah.
But everybody spoke super highly about working with you. Max told us, everybody that we spoke to all said that that you're a consummate professional, that you were really good at what you do. I want to play the trailer for the bouncer for everybody.
A good actor has to give.
Yeah.
If a good actor is selfish and doesn't give to other actors, he's not an actor. He's just an egomaniac, narcissistic jerk. And I'm sure, knowing you this little that I do, that you're a giver. That if I work with you, I would probably get along very well because I'm a giver. When I work, I'm not selfish. I don't want the scene. It's not my scene. It's our scene.
Exactly right. Absolutely. 100%.
So what I want you to do, Juan is listening. You introduce the trailer, then you hang on. We're going to play the trailer for everybody so they can see the bouncer, and then we're going to come back. So you introduce it, and then hang on, and as soon as it's over, we'll be back.
Yeah. So the bouncer, again, it takes place over Romania. What it is, it has to do with my character, and my character is somebody that got in trouble in the United States. He killed somebody, self-defense, while protecting somebody else, and he fled the country. He's trying to escape from his past, and he's trying to find a new life. While at the same time, he's connected to the United States, where his mother's dying. She's in the hospital. He's in communication.
He froze.
Oh, what happened?
Problem. Yoo-hoo.
What happened there, Juan? He froze.
We froze.
There we go. You froze for a second. So go ahead and just say the name of the movie, and we'll play it. And I don't know why you froze.
So you're about to see the trailer for the movie The Bouncer. So I hope you like it.
Can you explain to me what the hell I just saw? Every week it's a new one, okay? If you stick around here long enough, you're gonna see that all the time, and you're gonna learn to look away.
Who are you, anyways?
Don't touch me.
For what? Come on!
Go home or go to the hospital. Your choice.
In Russia, you have nothing.
Shoot him!
Make us jammed!
I give you good life. This is how you repay me.
It's not going to end well. Do you know how to drive?
I actually love it.
She's gonna need an operation as soon as possible.
How did he keep finding us?
It's a helicopter. Trouble when I see it.
His name's Kane. Ask anybody around here. He's into everything.
You cannot run forever.
Already did.
Yay!
It looks like an adventure full of excitement. It's a fast mover.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, it moves well. It moves fast. It starts right away. So right off the bat, there's a lot to.
And you look natural. You look natural beating up.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. That really does mean a lot because I got a story. again, through this process that we go through to try to just kind of get somewhere, to follow our passions, to follow our dreams. We come across a lot of naysayers. We come across a lot of people that will push us to the side. And there was a time when I was a little bit newer at this, that they were trying to get Keanu Reeves' manager to try to manage me. And his comment about me was, why the hell would I waste my time on somebody who's not going to make any money for me? Why the hell would I do that?
Fortunately, that's the business, John.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a degree I understand that. So a year and a half later, I got a call and saying, from my agent at the time, hey, we got this part for you. It's a small dialogue, not a very big part, but it's visible, and you'll be working with the lead actor. I said, oh, great, fantastic. Let's do this. And I said, what's the project name? They said, well, it's called Ice Cream. I said, okay. I've never heard a movie called Ice Cream before. I said, you know what? Let's go for this. I go on set and come to find out that the movie is Matrix 4, and the scene's with Keanu Reeves. So, Keanu Reeves and I had a great scene together. And they cut it from the overall film, but we had this great scene together. And just looking in hindsight, his manager said,
comes around.
Exactly right. Exactly
Ice
right.
Cream is just a fake name because they don't want you to know what you're working on, so you don't tell anybody.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I call that deception.
That's the way it is, though.
Today, years ago, I hate to be an old bag, but when you get old, John, you'll be like me. You'll talk about how wonderful today was. Years ago, we had a thing called a script.
Yep.
You know what a script is? Something you read that tells you about the film you're going to be in.
Exactly.
And we lived by the script. Today, I knew the name of the movie. We had pre-production. We had pre-publicity. They would do big thing about them, like That Kind of Woman that I was in with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. My God, the publicity on that. Romance in Central Park, Grand Central. They went all over the place with that movie, which wasn't a really good movie either. But we were open about it. Today, Ron, you're going to be in a movie, but you can't tell anybody. What's
exactly?
Oh, I can't tell you the title yet. Well, what do I play? Well, not yet. Well, then stick the script up your butt. Because what do I have no time for games. I'm 83. I don't have much time to fool around. I got to go to work fast. And it stinks. Because if they only knew the value of what I really love, the audacity they have to think that script is so wonderful that they can steal it. Meanwhile, you got to pay somebody to steal it because it's a stinkeroo. So
actually, you don't have too many stinkeroos. I went down your IMDb and checked everything out, because everybody usually everybody's got to have one or two.
I've got a.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I
was pretty impressed that you don't have too many stinkeroos, because like everybody, even the biggest stars have.
Oh yeah. That's you work. You have to work, and you say yes to something that you kind of go, oh, this is gonna be, hell.
Sometimes you think it's going to be good too, and it ends up that everybody's an idiot.
No, you know what happens?
Shitty.
You know what happens? I find when I've spoken to actors over the years about this, I say, how come you took that lemon? You know what, Ron? I read it with my own imagination.
Yes.
My mistake. I should have read it as it was going to be directed. So in other words, if I'm going to play a superhero with a cape, I see myself as this handsome young guy with a cape. When I shoot it, they see this demented old queen in a cape. So,
no, I have, because
it doesn't play well, John.
Actually, one of my favorite actors of all time is Lance Henriksen. I'm a huge fan. I've met him many, many times, and the first time I met him, I talked about some movie that he did, and I was like, so what actually happened with that movie? Because that movie was a real fucking stinker. It was terrible. And he's like, I had to make my alimony payments. And
so exactly.
So he took it for the
lots of
payments.
Times that happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too many actors make mistakes because they get a shitload of money, and it ruins their. It's not Listen, we are in a business where we're judged constantly.
Always, absolutely.
We're not judged once.
100%
We're judged
right.
over
Yeah.
and
All
over.
the time.
And there's a saying that we used to say in my day, you're as good as your last performance. Ever hear that one?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
You're only as good as your last performance, which means if you won an Academy Award, you're going to make some money. But if you're in a lemon, you're lucky
It's
to get
not so
hired.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I think the bouncer looks really good. So here's a question I like to ask all the actors that come on. And it's a two-part question. And so here it is. So the first part of the question is male and female actor that you would love to work with. They could be living or dead. And then the second part of the question is if you could have ever been in any movie ever made, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Wow. That's a question I've been asked that before. And
that's somebody stealing my question because I started that question. I've been doing it for 15 years. Okay.
I would have to say that's exactly what they did. You know what? That is, I think the cliche answer would be to work with somebody like Robert De Niro, somebody like that, somebody who's dedicated their life to the art of portraying real life situations and the emotion that's behind every scene, and whether it be intense, whether it be subtle, whether it be indifferent. De Niro to me always, where a lot of actors will progress to production, will progress to writing, will progress to directing. He wants to just be a great actor. He's dedicated his life to just this one art form, and for me to be a part of his kind of world, but more to learn. Again, for me, every person.
So give us a female one.
A female, my goodness. A great. Oh, there's so many great female actors.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah. That's. You're right. That's the first name that will pop in my head. That's the first name.
Only because PR made it that way.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep is no better than a lot of actresses. Angela Lansbury, for one, or Betty Davis, or my favorite, who is Doherty, Michelle Doherty.
He loves Michelle Doherty.
Michelle Doherty is a far better actress than she is. But we've programmed ourselves to believe that Pacino, De Niro, and she are the best actors around. Not true. Not true. Wait, let me just finish. If they all got the same script and we had to vote who is best, then you can tell. But if Meryl Streep gets a wonderful script and Julie Andrews gets a lousy script, it's about this. That's why the Academy Awards is bullshit, because it's for the best performance in a movie. Yes, but could we see somebody else in that movie to do just as good? This is the only thing I don't like about our business is the hype. And why they get $15 million a picture is a little obscene. No one on this planet is worth $15 million unless he discovers a cure for AIDS and cancer. Then I give him the $15 million. But a stupid actor who is nothing more than just a narcissistic person who wants to say, look at me, should get $15 million is beyond.
And the fact that we have to have one
Robert
of those.
De Niro has ruined his career.
Yeah.
By going public and saying F you Trump, F you Trump, F you Trump 3 times. It showed that he was not a man of integrity or smart, because he went public with his beliefs, politics, and disrespectful to the president of the United States, which didn't sit well with millions and millions of people. So you have to be careful in our business. Your image is important. And You have to.
Hang on, though, because I want to hear what he has to say.
No, I know, but I'm listen.
We only have 4 more minutes, and I want to hear his answer.
Fun show.
This is how I get stuff out of the guests.
I know, but I want to know, like, so would you have picked Meryl Streep? Is that who you would have picked?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the names that comes up. But to Ron's point, I have worked with, and I have seen so many people do amazing performances. I mean, just Leo DiCaprio. My God, his versatility and what he's able to do. Even Brad Pitt. A lot of people. I think he's an underrated actor because his performance in the movie Seven, when he was great
in that movie. I don't think he's a great actor, but he was great in that movie.
Right.
Just to convey what he had to find out at the end scene, that his wife was killed and his unborn child was killed, and is it happening? Is it really true? Are you lying? I mean, and all the emotions that one would feel, I thought that was amazingly conveyed.
It's easy to play tragedy. Tragedy is very easy to play. But getting an audience to be interested in you by being sort of mediocre is as a real actor. I mean, an actor is screaming and yelling and in pain and crying. That's anybody could do that. Most women, when they're married, do that to their husbands to get something.
Well, okay, so what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Good question. Oh man, there's just so many iconic movies. Again, since I was back from the time of Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon was just big, rock, just box office hit. And unfortunately, he passed away before he could see his true success. In Legend of the films. But The Godfather, just the subtleties of The Godfather in every scene.
We've had a lot of people from The Godfather.
Oh, Duvall, Pacino, just just Duvall just did an amazing job in that film. Just those kind of iconic movies.
Coming from Brooklyn, I lived it, so to me it didn't mean a damn thing.
It's like, what's this?
How about I throw this at you? How would you like to have played in Streetcar Named Josiah?
Oh, I would love it. Yeah, that would have been amazing. Marlon Brando. I mean,
that's an actor. That was an actor.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When an actor, when they can make you feel emotional, they produce an emotional response as a viewer, and you could empathize for how they're feeling at that moment in time. They did their job. And Brando was amazing at that. His subtleties, and Ron, to your point, his subtleties, just
his coolness.
Yes, absolutely.
He was an cool, evil person in that. How do you feel about method acting?
Method acting, it depends. To a degree. I mean, that was my training, the Stanislavski method acting. And when you approach that, essentially what you're doing is you're utilizing a lot of your own personal events of your life and putting them into the scenes. And for me, that's been very helpful for me, especially, I did a movie called Demon Fighter, and in one scene, I'm exorcising demons from a child, and I'm losing this child. This child's dying in front of me. Back in the day, I lost my best friend. My best friend was killed.
You pulled it.
And so, it took me back to being in the hospital, saying goodbye to my best friend, and unbeknownst to me, all of those emotions and those feelings came back to that scene, that moment in that scene, and it couldn't have been more real.
And that's what I was going to say. And that scene had to be very honest.
Oh, absolutely, and it was. Who's
That's Astro.
Astro, my 7-pound rescue baby boy.
Oh, I love it.
We have 3 dogs, but
we have.
So all right. So hold on, you guys. This is John Ozuna. Ozuna. You can follow him on Instagram, John_Ozuna. I told Max when Andromeda Wars comes out, we do like a cast show. So probably we'll have you back, and we'll have everybody from the cast on and do a show to promote it when it comes out. I love Max. He's great. We want to thank you for coming on. Best of luck.
Thank you guys. Hey, I love you guys.
It was a nice visit. I enjoyed it.
Oh, Jimmy, Ron, I love you guys. You guys with the time.
We're on the right track to becoming a super duper actor.
Yeah, thank you so much for this time, and you guys are.
And don't let anybody tell you.
Don't let anybody tell you can't do it. You're great at it.
Don't ever let anybody tell you again that you can't be an actor or shouldn't be an actor. There's 2 words for them, and it ain't Merry Christmas, if you know what I'm saying.
All right, John. Thank you so much. We'll see you.
Love you guys. You guys take care. We'll see you.
All right.
Imagine people telling you shouldn't be an actor. I mean,
he's got a lot of good credits too, so it's stupid.
I mean, yeah, but that's nerve of people. That's jealousy. They say, "Don't be an actor. Be a jerk like me." That's what they want, like themselves.
All right, so we're gonna bring on our next guest now. Let's bring him on. Let's see if we can see. Bring on Steve. Juan. Oh, he's all into the sports thing. So I don't even know who the fuck that is. Like, who is that?
It's Hurst.
Hey,
who is that though? Tell us who it is for all of us people who don't know sport.
That's the Detroit Lions.
Okay, the Detroit Lions.
My team since I can remember. And I'll give you a little bit of history on this thing. I'll cut a bitch if they go against my Detroit Lions.
No, I got news for you.
I'm a loyal fan. Like they have a losing record forever. This year they're 6-2, and I got friends out there in Detroit because I'm from Windsor originally, and I've been a loyal fan for a long time.
Is Windsor in Michigan?
Windsor Park.
Is Windsor in Michigan?
Windsor is across from Detroit, right across the bridge.
Okay.
But nobody.
But you're from Canada now, so fuck that.
No one in the history of baseball will ever beat the Brooklyn Dodgers.
That's football.
Oh, well. That's how much I know about sports.
But hang on a second. The Detroit Tigers have done very well against the Dodgers. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, producer, writer, acting coach, all kinds of things, superstars in the entertainment industry. Steve Bacic, hello, and welcome back to the Jimmy Star Show.
Yeah, everybody. What's going on?
So happy to have you guys.
What's going on with you since we last had you?
Well, this beautiful strike.
What?
2 strikes. We've had the writer's strike and then the actors' strike.
Don't even bring it up. I'm sick over it.
Oh, my God.
I can't stand it. I want it to be over.
I know. And
wait, say hi to everybody in the chat room because they're all like...
interrupt him when he's saying something important.
No, I want him to say hi so everybody knows.
The strike is more important than people in the chat room.
No, it's okay.
Well, if we continue to strike, there's no show, then there's no chat room. So go ahead, Steve.
No, that's okay. I'll say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody.
There you go.
Now go on. What do you think? You think the strike's going to be over? They threatened us. Not threatened. They said that it's supposed to be over now. They're negotiating it as we speak.
Yeah,
somebody said that's baloney.
You know what's funny? Because it's been going on. What's this? June or May?
Yeah.
I heard September, and then we were supposed to.
So now they said they're negotiating right at this moment.
Today.
A deal is on the table, and somebody who knows a lot about it said, Ron, don't believe it. They want to get all of the members upset to go and picket more.
We had 2 different responses because somebody else who's in the know told us that they thought it was going to be done by November 8th, and everybody else is saying next year, so we don't really know.
I can't believe it. They're winning our business, They're destroying Hollywood.
Yeah, I heard a lot. I was at a convention in Maryland about a month ago, and one of the guests was telling, she's part of the board. She said, "Oh yeah, a couple weeks, end of September." Then I heard from other producers, we're looking at January probably before we go back to work, but we'll see. I mean, it's like COVID was one thing, and is a whole other animal. So there's a lot at stake here with AI, and it's
terrible.
Too many people that we know, young people, are losing their homes. They can't pay their car payment. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Real estate is all over the place now. For sale.
Yeah. No, it's killing us up here in British Columbia as well, and it's affected a lot of people. And again, some people survived COVID, and now this happens, and so a lot of people are losing their homes. But let's not get too depressed, though.
Well, it's
going to get better. I have several films that are like ready to go, so I need the strike to be over. So I have a question. When you go do those conventions, because I met Steve, you guys at a convention. It was a long time ago, 2005 or 6 or something. It was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't look any older either than he did then. Yeah, good lighting. So I have a question though. What is it? What is the thing that everybody like when you go to the conventions? What is it everybody want to like to meet you from? What is the most popular thing from?
I think there's a lot of looky-loos for X-Men.
Yeah, that's a good one for me.
It was a question that would kill me. Well, why weren't you in X3? Because you get a little glimmer of me in X2, I think, and I get a lot of that. But mostly, I would say Stargate. And then Andromeda.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Because
I remember.
So they're not, most of them are sci-fi. I don't go to I've been doing a lot of Hallmark, and we were actually supposed to do. A second where it's a series of movies, Aurora Tea Garden, but it's like 2008. It's a prequel to the. I did about 17 of those, and I've become a member of that cast. So we did one. We're supposed to do a second one in July, but then the strike happened. So then we're supposed to get a waiver for September, but the waiver didn't happen. So now we're waiting to see what's going to happen in the future. So and then I got a horror film, which we're supposed to do back east. That same thing. We're waiting on a waiver, and it's all going to come at one time.
It's all going to come at one time.
And your werewolf movie, buddy.
Yes, in my werewolf movie, I got a bunch of things I'm actually working on. So real quick, say hi to Cindy Lady Lake, because she's like the biggest Hallmark. I don't even know if she realizes that you're in all those Hallmark movies, but she all the time puts out stuff that she's watching Hallmark. So just say hi to Cindy. She's one of my dearest friends.
Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
And she's
what's Cindy's handle? What's her?
She goes by Lady Lake Music because she's a music promoter. That's how we met on Twitter as a music promotor, and we've been friends for 15
years. I asked her already
years.
about her name, Lake. I said, do you live in a lake?
That's a good question. Does she?
No, I like.
No, she said that she took the name. I forgot.
So you play in X2. You're Beast, right?
That's right.
I have all kinds of Beast action figures in my collection.
Beast.
It was this close. It was this close to being blue. We were that close to doing the CGI. Bryan Singer wanted to bring me back to test it. Was possibly going to be right at the very end, a little teaser, what's to come. But I think I may have mentioned this. I was doing a film in Toronto, and we asked for, a certain amount of money and a business class ticket to come back to Vancouver, and they're just like, no, it's okay.
Listen, I have to
hold just an idea.
Steve, I have to hold you for a minute. Sure. Engineer, we need his last name up.
No, Steve wrote his name in there, not the engineer. He didn't write his last name.
Why didn't you want your cops are after you? We want people to know who you are.
Steve Bacic. He can actually, hey, Juan, put up his Instagram and then it'll be on there.
Put up his full name, please.
I don't think he can do it. Only Steve can do it, and he has to go out to do it, so it can't be done.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Engineer can do it.
I don't know if he
Steve
can or not.
didn't put up his own name.
Yes, he does. We all put up our name when you enter the studio.
I didn't put my name.
I know. I put it there.
I'm suing you.
Yeah.
I saw that option, but I was running late.
There we go. Okay.
Otherwise, nobody's going to know who you are unless you give your name.
Okay.
Because you have a beard. You know, when you're in a beard, you're hiding. You're hiding from the police.
All right, so you guys, Steve Bacic, and so he's got a few new things going on. We're going to play a trailer and talk about one of his movies in a minute. And then the last time he was on, he had a movie that we talked about, but then it wasn't playing anywhere that we could find it. So now it's playing places. But I told him I would plug his new thing because he's a great actor, you guys. He's been in so many huge things. So let me just brag a little. Wonder with Julia Roberts, Cold Zone, Black Way. I love Black Way. Five Souls, The Tooth Fairy, The Marine 3, Stargate, Continuum, Good Luck Chuck, The Final Storm with Lauren Holly and Luke Perry. I love that. The Virginian. Anyway, he's been in plus all these TV shows and all these Hallmark movies. So now he is launching the Actors Gym, and he's going to be giving acting lessons. So give a little plug for it and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, again, I did a lot of coaching. I was helping create a program up in northern British Columbia, and it was for education and opportunity for the. I hope I'm getting this right. The Indigenous community and whoever else wanted to study. And we had $1 million promised to us to start the education process. I had never wanted to get into the teaching or coaching side of it, but through a friend, I introduced Adam Beach to some people, and they were very excited about potentially doing a film. We got the rights to a book. Long story short, they needed some training, so I got talked into doing an acting class. And I created a 6-week program where I got to know the students. They all did a little bit of writing about themselves, and at the end of it, we created a little short film. Long story short, the producer that brought me up there turned out to be a bit of a con man. And,
we don't have any of those anyway.
No, not in Hollywood. Not in Hollywood.
Oh, never.
But the good news was that I saw positive changes in all the students, and they were like, I had people from their families coming up and saying, "I don't know what you did to Ed, but he's finally opened up. He's smiling again." And I was just being goofy, and I just basically created through my 25 years of knowledge at that point, what I would want to see if I was getting into the business. And so from that, my agent had asked me, she knew I was going away every weekend, and she says, "I got a new kid. Would you coach her?" And I was like, "I don't coach kids, but sure, why not?" And she ended up getting on the Spielberg series, The Whispers, as one of the leads. And then I got her into another show, and then I coached Anna Cathcart for her first episode, and now she's a big Netflix star. And I had a lot of success with a lot of different people. And but I was doing one-on-ones, and then I got into a class. I had enough people asking about me, so I created a class. But it was never something that I really was that aggressive about. I don't even have my Instagram, the Actors Gym. There's no posts.
Steve.
Yeah.
Do you believe, as I believe, you either got it or you don't? You're never going to learn it.
No, I used to. So I had this one student, and she was from musical theater, 15 years old. And I'm thinking, she's just graduating from Cap University. She's going into producing. The habits that they had for film and television, they don't work. It's too big, too much. You're eating up all the furniture. And I thought, there's no way. But I'm not going to discourage her. I'm going to work with her. I have a 4-step process. She applied herself, and within about 9 months to a year, she's the one that was the example. Like, we'd tape it, we'd show people, and she was so still and so good. But the timing for her was wrong. That's sometimes the issue. She didn't have the right look for the time. Now she would do, I think, quite well if she went back at it. So I do think people. What I like to do is find out when I work with someone, if they allow me, I get to know them a little bit, right? So you can't go into another character unless you know who you are. So I gotta, and sometimes I don't even know who they are. Sometimes I will see things that they're not aware of, like if they're hitting up a certain roadblock and they can't get past their acting. Like I'm acting all the time. So my goal is to figure out who they are, get them nice and simple, and then from there we expand.
So then you don't believe in method?
Method? I mean, I think it works for, depends on what you're doing. Depends on, like, if it's, for me, I'm collaborative.
Yes.
And it depends on how much time you're going to take away from the production and how much time you're going to take away from other actors. So if it's a big production and you got time and you can be in character all the time, and they say, "Oh, well, I care about the other actor. I care about the other person's opinion, not because I need to be liked, but because I believe you get your best stuff when you collaborate. That's my opinion. And the unfortunate thing is we don't get a chance to rehearse that much anymore. But if it's a big production,
he hates that. He hates you because you work on really that you don't get to rehearse hardly anymore.
I can't even believe that he said that. I mean, to me, this is an insane business. How do you have the nerve to go on a set without a bit of rehearsal to understand for one moment what you and the other fella are doing?
Wait, I have a question.
It's obscene.
Wait,
I want to just finish something. I am a good actor. You know why? I disappear, and the character comes.
Right.
And you know why? My training, all those years performing as a female impersonator, when I had to become this Jane Russell, a beautiful woman, and I was. All woman, as much as a man I am as a man. It took such thought. It took such training. Woman's voice. I sang in a woman's voice. I became a woman. Okay? You have to know how to use your tools.
That's right.
If you don't use your tools correctly, you're flat. You're a line reader. I have worked with line readers, and I wanted to scream.
He wants to scream every time.
Have you ever worked with line readers?
Like when they feed you the line?
No,
an actor who stands there saying, and now I'm going to shoot you because it's time to shoot you. So please do not move while I shoot you. Bang, bang. Look, now you're dead. That's a line reader. Listen, you know how come they're there? They pay money to be in the movie.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't have to be in those. He doesn't.
No. I mean, listen. We all do. Look, I've seen brilliant actors in shitty films.
Yes.
And I've seen shitty performances from everybody. So I you got to give a little bit of grace. And you know what's cool about that is if we're trying to be perfect all the time, right? We're going to shut down. And the greatest challenge for anybody is to open themselves up and be authentic in that moment, whether what you're doing. Right. So I had this one agent who said, the camera loves insanity and they love vulnerability. Now, what part, there's so many, I'm hearing so much bullshit. Sorry if I can, I'll say bullshit.
Oh, it's okay.
There's teachers up here with full classes. They're like cults. And they don't believe, they think that all you got to do is show up and spew out your spirit or your energy. I'm like, they don't work. It doesn't work. If you're doing maybe a whole movie, sure. If you want to do a motivational video, sure. But if you want to be a professional actor and have respect for the craft, like that's what I believe in. I believe that it's a craft. And I think that you're the tool. You got to learn how to use this tool. But start with yourself first. Accept yourself, figure out who you are, accept who you are, and then share who you are. That is the hardest thing for any human being to do. Nobody wants to look inside and figure out, because they don't like who they are. Most people don't like it. I go, it's cool. You are great. Like, this is all fucked up as it is. Can I say fuck?
Yeah.
We're trying to clean up the show a little.
Oh.
But we say fuck every now and then.
So wait, going back to what you said before, though. So like, because
I want to get into this with him.
You work on wait.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about.
You're not an actor.
You work
on
you
stink as an actor.
High five. High five. Make up. High five. High five.
No, we're fine. You work on a lot of stuff, the big stuff, a lot of big stuff. So even when you do those, bigger things that you've done, like when you did Wonder, I mean, that had like fucking like A-list, everybody A-list, biggest actors in the world. Like, do they rehearse? Do you get to rehearse on those, or are those you just?
Yeah. On some of those, and then on Wonder, for example, with Manny Patinkin, the director, kind of like Manny had this monologue he wanted to do, and it wasn't even part of the script, but it was the essence of the scene. It dealt with discrimination and bias and all those things, and he just did a diatribe, and I was just sitting there watching this. I'm going, wow, this is great. And then you go, that freedom. I was going to swear again, but that freedom to do that was for me. There's this selfishness that we all have as a performer, but to be able to have that selfishness contained and delivering it within this little window.
I don't think it's selfishness at all, Steve.
But there's nothing wrong with being selfish. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Talent. I would never call you selfish as an actor. I would say you have talent and you know how to project. And if you call that selfishness, well, okay. But a good actor knows how to project it, to sell it, to get it to go. If you do not become the character, you are not an actor. You must feel, eat, and be. Why I won't work in a movie if they don't rehearse? Because I never saw it. But if I rehearse, I've seen the scene in my mind's eye, right? And I know what I'm doing. And I know what he's saying, whether he's a good actor or a bad actor. I know what my deal is. I know what I have to maneuver.
Well, can I, to your, oh, sorry, go ahead.
But I would not call what you said selfish at all.
Oh, no. But what I'm saying,
you're talented.
as a, like humans as a species are, biologically, we have to be a little selfish. Actors are especially indulgent.
Yes.
And this business attracts a lot of that. It attracts a lot of good, attracts a lot of bad. But I'm saying there's nothing wrong with that as long as you learn how to hone it and be listening to each other. So it's not just about my words. I work with so many actors. They wait for your pause to start talking. I'm like, you're not listening to me because now you're talking over my pause because I was about to do something else.
No. I agree with that. I was listening to something else. No, it's all what you say, I say. Definitely. If you are a one-man band, it shows. It's called acting, and you have to listen to the other actor and respond. And if the actor stinks and doesn't give you the energy, here, for instance, I played a New York cop that went to Pennsylvania to push people around because I was a brute. All right? There's a scene in the woods where the star of the movie that couldn't act his way out of a paper bag, I'm fighting with him. And I'm going to do a little bit. Don't tell me that your brother was killed. I know you're lying. There's something out in that woods. There's something out in that woods, you son of a bitch. And you know what he turned around and said to me? Right? And you could see it. It's in the movie. Oh, I'm really upset. And I looked at the director. I said, oh, dear God in heaven, this is going to be a comedy. It's supposed to be a horror movie. Because he didn't act. He didn't give me he should have said, fuck you. You know what I mean? Give it back. And when an actor doesn't give it back, the scene is ruined. And if the director is stupid and doesn't see that and tell that fellow actor, hey, get with the program.
Yeah. I'm not going to name the movie, but I just watched the movie, big cast. And I'm like, why did this movie fail? It failed miserably. And technically, you couldn't hear anything they were saying. The writing was all over the place. The acting was disconnected. None of it read as real or authentic. Huge cast. Huge.
What movie was it? I'm
not going to say.
Okay.
I'm not going to say. If ever I have a character, I might do that reviews movies. Okay. About it. But so that could be, we could go, that was the actor, but it could have been the editor, and it could have been the director, just didn't have the courage to take these A-listers and pull them in, right? Because sometimes they're not allowed to do that. So, like, this is the most fearful time for actors. You're not allowed to be an actor anymore. Everyone's so scared. It's like, this is
big balls.
I'm an actor. It's like, I'm not here to try to be a political statement. I'm not here to be anything but entertaining and as real as I can possibly be. If I want to go into politics or social justice, that's a different story, which, that's, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Back to your statement. You're not allowed to be an actor anymore. And I agree with you 101%.
And guess what's suffering? The audiences.
The audience is suffering, and the projects are suffering because
all I watch on television is this woke shit. All right?
Yeah.
What make it political? You have to have a Chinese, a black, an Asian, a guy from the moon, a Martian. Don't make it that way, because in 1750, we didn't have black people dressed up in gowns with white wigs with Marie Antoinette.
Yeah.
Let's have history the way it was. There's nothing wrong with the black history. It's a marvelous history, because one of the greatest movies, television movies, was ever made was Roots.
Yeah.
And Roots was about the black culture.
But if you would have made Roots with a bunch of white people, it wouldn't have really gone
It
over
would have,
very
it
well.
would have been racist. It's a racist thing. So let's leave history alone. If
See, I
we're
think what's interesting is that people don't really pay attention to history. So everyone can be implicated as guilty, no matter what your culture, no matter what your orientation, no matter whatever you want to call it. Every one of us, every one of those groups can be implicated. And so now we've got this movement which is doing exactly what they're against. Exactly. So there's discrimination more prevalent now. And I go back and look at movies in the 80s and 90s and thousands. There wasn't a great representation, but there was a representation. And I think that it dilutes, it doesn't do a service to anybody. I'm like I said, my first program when I started teaching was for inclusion, and I wanted to build a strong base for people to succeed. And and it's not up to me. Like right now, I accept what is. Okay, why would I struggle with what's going on the planet right now? It's horrible. There's a horrible shit. I'll accept it, but it doesn't mean I need to be part of it.
Right.
You know, I can still live and I can still believe.
Like, are you my brother? Maybe.
No, I don't know it.
No,
Maybe.
we think
I was going to go back to
like Steve.
Sorry.
We think exactly alike.
Oh,
Therefore,
maybe. Yeah.
that makes it right, because
I think a lot of people think like this.
I think so too.
Yeah, but like I said,
you know what?
You know,
I just want to be in a movie that's called entertainment.
Yeah.
That's all I want, to entertain people. I want people to enjoy whatever it is that we all do on that celluloid.
You know what I the marker for me to say that's a good movie or a bad movie used to be, did it affect me as a story?
Right.
Whether I was joyful or if I was horrified. Like, for example, Seven.
Great movie. We were talking about there. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier with the other guy.
Okay. I was watching that. It was daytime, and I come out of the theater. Thank God it was daytime. I was so depressed by it, and I was like, "Wow!" I was so it was visceral, and I was like, "Thank you," because it was so. I was happy how much it affected me.
No, it was so great.
It wasn't a beautiful feeling at all.
No, it was a great movie.
No, it's not a feel. We need a lot. Listen, I wrote a movie. It's a feel-good movie. And I know it's going to be a hit because it has a lot of good shit in it that we need today. And the people that need what my movie has to offer will eat it up alive. We are sick and tired of gray costumes in a gray room with broken, filthy furniture, bummy-looking animal people, rude, crude, and mass, and killing, shooting, chopping, bleeding. We're tired of that. If we want to see that, we could watch the war in Israel. We don't have to go to the theater to see it. We need lively movies, encouraging movies, and movies to make politicians change their rotten ways. Maybe a movie that'll make our country wake up and realize that we're in a lot of trouble. We need to be educated through film, but well, not educated in the sense of dividing us.
Yeah,
I have never. Listen, I've been in the business 100 years. I've had black friends that were actors. I still have them. And we never had a problem. You know, they knew that they were black and they were limited in the parts they were going to get. And they were grateful for what they got. We white people used to feel sometimes it was wrong. Maybe the maid could have had a couple of lines more than Yazm. You know, Yazm.
You're talking about like 50 years
I'm talking
ago.
about in the 1950s.
Yeah, well,
when I was,
it's changed a lot from that.
I'm in the movie since 1950. So come on.
Hang on a second, because we only have 10 minutes, and I've got something that we have to go over.
This guy is good. I want to wind him
we
up.
only have 10 minutes left?
Yeah, we only have 10 minutes left. It's going really
It's all
fast.
fast.
Oh, my God. I had a list of things I wanted to hit.
I know.
We'll go.
No, I've got a list of things to hit. First of all, you guys, the last time Steve was on, we were talking about a haunting at Silver Falls. Just to let everybody know, it's now available. You can see it on Tubi, Amazon, Roku, and Vizio. He has another movie called Alter, and we don't know where it was before because we tried to get it, and it's not there. Now it's on Tubi, Amazon, and Google, and we've got the trailer, and we're going to play it real quick. So you introduced the trailer for Alter. We're going to play it, then we'll come back and we'll have a few minutes.
We're going to have you back soon. After the new year, you're coming back because we have to continue our conversation.
Okay, so hopefully I'll have my second. I had some issues with my editor for my second film. It's hopefully going to be done this week, and we'll talk about that one. But
absolutely, but introduce Alter for us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, actually, boys and girls should leave the room because Alter's adult only. Alter.
There is a thin veil between sanity and insanity. Mind is a fragile thing. Nature has given us ways to protect ourselves. Putting up walls, changing the meaning, losing all memory. But what if? What if the walls kept crashing down? What if you remember? Could you do what you needed to do to survive?
Hello, police. Is that your vehicle out front?
Can I ask why you're interested?
A car matching that make and model was involved in an abduction.
Hey.
Decker. It's been a while, huh? Do I know you?
I'm sorry, I really gotta get home.
There's a $20 reward. My name and number's on this card. Have your mom call me.
I don't know what you think I did, but it wasn't me.
It's your call.
Please, no. No.
God. There's no God here. Sit tight. I got an idea.
Yay, Alter, you guys. So it's actually available on Tubi, Amazon, and Google.
So tell me what happens.
So I found that guy on the street, and like I said, I can make anybody an actor.
You look good. You look good on camera. If you wanted that movie to be a real hit, when you're at the sink naked, you should have had the camera go 4 inches lower.
I heard that a lot.
Because that's the new thing.
But I gotta.
No, that's the new thing. Women have been showing all their cleavage and naked shots. And the women said, we're not going to do a film unless the men are naked with us. So now the new thing is nudity in men. Well, I have news for you. Some guys are gifted and they're gonna be superstars. And the ones that are like Mickey Mouse or Button, who's got the button, they're gonna have to use a prosthetic.
The room was cold.
Is it true?
The room was cool.
It's cool. No, it's no, really, it's going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, I have a clause in every contract for any project. I have to do full frontal.
No. What they're going to show now, what they're going to do now is bring the way when women have their bosoms hanging out, Now they're going to have men in tight pants, and they're going to do sort of a swing crotch shot and then up.
Okay.
Because you have to equalize it. And I think this is...
Have you shown your ass in the movie?
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny?
Huh?
Yeah.
So I was in a show called The Guard, and my character is dating someone who's a nudist, and she invites him up for a date. It's nudist bingo, and I had to show my ass. And one of my friends at the gym, he goes, my mother was watching The Guard, and she's an old Croatian lady, and they said she goes, they should have stayed there a little longer. She goes, I could tell he was Croatian by the shape of his ass. I'm like, okay.
I don't even if I were 25, I don't think I'd do a nude. I don't know.
For me, it doesn't. For me, it's about, does it do anything to enhance the story? I don't care. Like, I don't think that anything gratuitous is necessary for the sake of showing it. But if it tells the story, then I'm all for it. But can I give a real great? Like, you guys posted a photo.
Okay.
Remember that photo you used with the prayer hands?
Yes.
Can I plug that photographer?
Yeah, plug him real quick. You guys, that's the picture that we used on the promo, the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell promo. It's a new picture, not nude, a new picture of Steve, which I don't have it that I can show it.
He's an excellent photographer up here in Vancouver, and his name's Wade. His website is photography.com. If you ever wanted to get stuff done, he's good. He's a great guy, excellent photographer.
Does he do posters?
You can do anything. He actually he's also
a movie poster.
No, he's a photographer.
Yeah, he does. He also did. He's also
anybody. Jimmy has a terrible habit of answering for every guest. So
that's okay. Yeah, he does. But also what I wanted to also plug was if someone is interested in acting, can you guys put up my Gmail? Is that possible for later?
Yeah.
What's your school called?
The Actors Gym.
The what?
ACTORZ Gym and
Actors Gym.
Yeah, and what is your email? What's the email?
The Actors Gym, but actors is with a Z. Jim?
Yes.
At gmail.com.
Okay. Hang on.
I haven't got anything like that's my Instagram as well, but honestly I have no posts up there. I
want you throw that up there. Hang on, Juan, throw that up on the screen so everybody's got it.
Let him put it up.
Please.
So I'm going to be taking
Steve, how long have you been doing this? How long have you bbeen teaching?
Well, I did that stint for about 4 years, and I was filling up classes, and then I ended up doing a film out of town for a few weeks. And then by the time I got back, my son had moved back in. I lost my studio. I was teaching from my home. Now there's Zoom, so now I can.
Where do you work? Are you working out of Hollywood?
No, he's in Canada.
Oh, you're in Canada.
Yeah. But I'm about to start some classes. But what I'm doing also is I have a limited amount of time for one-on-ones, which is what I'm pitching here. So because now you can be anywhere in the world.
Yes.
I'm going to do about 3 to 5 a week max. And it's I think for me personally, if I was working with someone with a base of knowledge, before even you commit to a school, like some of these schools are 30 grand, 40 grand, I'd want to get a good base of knowledge. I used to recommend books for this knowledge. And so now I'm going, you know what? I'm the book. And I
think it's terrific. We have like half a minute.
Half a minute. This is important. If I were a young student, can I get you on Skype?
On Zoom, yes. He just said it.
On whatever it is.
Yes. That's what I'm going to do.
You're going to teach me from there to here.
That's right. It's better if you get a partner to work with you, and then I can watch.
How much does it cost for an hour?
It's $125.
American money.
Yeah. You guys, so anyway, check out. First of all, you can follow Steve. It's on Instagram. His Instagram is Steve Bacic Official. And then you can contact him at theactorsgym@gmail.com to email him about taking acting classes over Zoom. And we're out of time.
One-on-one.
One-on-one, yes.
Stevie, again, it was a pleasure, and you're coming back, babe.
I can't believe, how long was that? How much time do we have?
60 minutes.
40 minutes. 40 minutes.
Come on, that was 40 minutes?
Yeah,
Well, you know the saying: when you're having a good time, time goes by fast. But if you're bored,
I want to give you one little thing. As one of my coaches in LA was Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, very good, you guys.
Before he blew up into this massive everything, he's just an amazing
Yellowstone, you guys. Yellowstone.
Everything. He was just the coolest dude, you know. And when we worked together, he's like, "There's nothing wrong with you." I'm like, "Cool, okay." So that's the thing, like one-on-one, and that's back like 10, 15 years ago. He had a good amount of psychological knowledge. He helped me with what I do in the room.
You guys, so he's got a great background. Hit him up because we got to go. We're a minute past. They're going to yell at me.
One more question.
We got to go. No, we got to go. We got to go.
Are you single? Are you single?
No, I'm not.
Oh, so ladies, I'm sorry.
But you can go. But you can go watch The Guard, you guys, and you can see his ass. All right. Thanks. Detroit Lions. All right. Bye, Steve. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week, everybody. Bye.
Steve.
Can try not to be so wrong.
Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.